All right, and that takes us into Mike Perry versus Tim Means here. We got Mike Perry coming in at 14-6-0. Tim Means, he's been around for a while. I've definitely seen his name pop up a few times looking at his record. He sports a 30-12-1 record, 36 years old. He's been around this game for a long time. So, getting onto this main card, it's going to be an exciting one for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you said it best, right? Like all of that UFC experience. So let me just start quickly with Tim Means, because I did like what I saw in the last fight. We took him straight up. That was one of the locks I thought for the card. From what I saw, I think he had all the offensive, I would say, advantage in everything. It was very obvious throughout the fight, because there was a moment where I felt like he even got rocked, and this is why I like some of the old school guys who do take those punches and know that some wobbliness might be coming, or they're about to get one more shot and they're kind of screwed. He had that. He had moments where there was moments to kind of mess up a little bit worse, and he didn't. He kept the point striking going. He kept his game plan intact, and that's what I love about those kinds of fighters, especially when we're talking about picks and things like that, because you can predict the only aspect of things that is, in my opinion, the biggest unpredictable factor, right? Is a fighter going to follow what his coaches tell him to do? Now, are his coaches good enough to figure out each fighter? That's all part and parcel of that process, right? And so in this case, I do think Tim Means is going to be the smarter fighter. Now, speaking of smarter fighters, what do you know about Mike Perry?
I mean, the one thing that stands out to me in looking at his history was that loss against Cowboy Cerrone, somebody who we follow a decent amount. And so, he did get submitted by Cerrone with the arm bar. He's actually not coming in too heavy. He has 2 wins in his last 5-6 bouts. So, he will be looking to prove himself. But, looking at his height, his reach, I do think he's a bit undermanned in terms of size here.
Mm-hmm. And so here's the thing. It's funny. At the end of his last fight, he actually it was like an opposite open invitation. It was like a call out to other camps who he wanted to be invited to, and be like, hey, I'm happy to come train anywhere. Just give me a shout. And it's like, well, buddy, you're kind of a head case. Like that's a lot of baggage to take on. And by no means, if I'm a professional coach, do I say no to anybody. But at the same time, that is some baggage to take on. Some of the things we've seen recently, we're talking as ridiculous as fighting, people outside of a restaurant, as far as punching them / making contact with them. He's one of those guys, right? He had what seemed to be a fairly normal looking life with one of the girls in his corner, but that ended. There's something going on there. Now he's got this new girl, and I don't know if you remember, but Mike Perry is the guy that kept just one single female in his corner who is not a professional coach. So he basically had his girl as his cornerman. Have you not seen this highlight?
Yeah, he likes his eye candy, man. I don't blame him there.
Have you not seen this highlight?
You're fighting a man. You look over, you're like, oh, there you go. There's my motivation right there.
I mean, without the drama, bro, I used to really like the guy, right? Because there was this hood aspect to him that you kind of felt bad for, the come up and all that stuff. Those stories we all love, right? But then it starts getting a little kooky. It starts getting a little Greg Hardy-esque, that's when things start getting a little dark for me, and it's hard for me to be in your corner. So to analyze from a skills perspective, good wrestling, good grappler, likes to be up against the fence. He's always going to throw shots with power, so he wrestles with power. He punches with power. He's got good combos, body strikes, things like that, but he's short, so he fights also like a Tyson. He's going to throw some kicks, but again, distance will be a problem. I think Tim Means is primarily a distance striker, so you're going to see Perry constantly trying to run in and try to land big bombs and things like that. So I hate to say it, but I think Perry does land in the puncher's chance realm, because Tim Means should be able to kind of, at least dictate his own pace in terms of, landing strikes and getting out of the way of big power takedowns and being up against the fence for too long or being in dangerous spots. I just don't see him being outsmarted in this.
And kind of doing his best to control the ring for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in terms of the lines here, who do you see as the favorite?
And it's so funny, right? Because I now feel like I want to start picking based on who I think the public is going to take, because that's what kind of, in this mini game burned me with Buckley, right? I do still see value in taking Jordan, but at the same time, like, I do believe the public play is pretty massive there. So looking at this line, it's really tough for me because, again, I saw it being very close, but I am going to go with my heart and say I think Tim Means can win this fight. And Mike Perry can still be a favorite for those reasons. So similar to how I've been picking, the smart line here would be a -110 for Mike Perry.
Yeah, so I mean, exactly what you literally just said it sums up this line perfectly. Mm-hmm. Tim Means does have a good shot at winning this, even coming in as the underdog. Mike Perry is a slight favorite. He's about -145, bringing Tim Means in at a +120. Mm-hmm. And, it seems like there's good value there for what we essentially are calling a pick'em fight.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, hey, guys, based on my notes, based on the ranges that I usually put down for us, if there was a fight that you could say, like, I know it's within the like our mini game range as well, but in terms of everything else that goes into kind of calling a fight, I don't know if there was one that based on like I just
it's been more accurate.
Yeah, sure. there's a confidence factor there, and I think the cherry on top for me is actually hearing a +120. I think I actually see some value there. And taking Tim Means at a +120 because I just think this is a pick'em fight. And so if I'm getting the Mike Perry opponent who can distance strike and grapple pretty well and maybe avoid some good power shots, there's a good chance there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so, yeah, stay tuned for that one. But it does look like we do see, a good amount of value on Mr. Means there.
Of course.
Means to an end, my friend.
Let's hope.
As usual, hit that bell button, hit that subscribe.
Ding, ding, ding,
we
ding.
love all you guys. We love you tuning in. So continue to do so. We really appreciate it. Our Instagram is there. Our Twitter is there. Give us a follow. Give us a comment. Any questions you have, shoot them our way. And Siraj, thanks again for the breakdown. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably had some of the most fun looking at this one together and breaking down some of these cards and watching some live little videos there. So, I'm really excited. I think it's despite it not having the names people are used to, especially for a card dubbed as a pay-per-view with UFC 255, it's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good.
Absolutely. Make sure you tune in, guys. We'll see you Saturday.
Take it easy. Peace, my boy.
Peace.